A lot of people don't know how to give a good introduction to their self, or they don't know how to give a good introduction when they're about taking their interview. Some people don't know what to say as far as tell me about yourself is. This video is all about tell me about yourself. Are you an aspiring cloud engineer? Are you an aspiring DevOps engineer? During an interview, you must be able to tell your interviewer more about yourself. Hello, I'm Mike and welcome to DevOps with Mike. Today's video is all about getting you your first job, and if you are a new subscriber or you're a new person just getting to our content, subscribe to our channel, like and comment. If you're a returning subscriber, do well to continue watching our videos, continue leaving your comments, as that will help us to improve content delivery. And why not hit the notification bell to get you up to date with our recent updates. There are a lot of people who want to get themselves into jobs, but they don't know how to convey the information which they have during interviews. It's very important for you to know how to tell an interviewer who you are. Now, most interviewers will ask you during your interview, tell me about yourself. And if you cannot tell the interviewer about who you are in a convincing way, the rest of your interview, of course, will be ruined. You want to make sure that during your interviews, you have the right mindset and you're able to answer with clarity and with accuracy a lot about who you are just from the opportunity which the interviewer gives you. There are some very basic things which you must do when you're telling an interviewer about yourself. Remember, the interviewer is not interested in your day-to-day life. They're not interested in your marital status. They're not interested in your religion or in your belief. They're not interested in some kind of aside things. Once an interviewer is asking you, tell me about yourself, they are interested in having a little bit of information that can guide their understanding of who you are. So tell me about yourself basically is an opportunity for you to summarize your experience or your skill set such that the interviewer will know which direction to take the interview or not. Now, many people always mess up during the opportunity they've been given to talk about themselves, and you see them talking about irrelevant things, or I'm married, I have this number of kids, I'm from this country, I've done this, I've been doing that, and that is not the information which your recruiter or which the interviewer is looking for from you. When you're given the opportunity to talk about yourself, the most important thing is for you to summarize your professional experience in the slightest or in the shortest possible time. Summarizing your professional experience basically means that the interviewer should know the skill set which you have. The interviewer should know some of the problems which you've been able to solve in your environment. The interviewer should have an idea of some of the environments which you've worked in, some of the languages which you've used, and some of the technologies which you've used. You use the about or tell me about yourself as an opportunity to give the interviewer a very good first impression about you. Now, we did another video on how to do a catchy resume that will attract recruiters. So do well to watch the video on how to do a good resume that will attract recruiters. Now, once you've been able to get that resume done or getting a good resume, about yourself is basically you giving a recruiter all those key intricate skills which you are comfortable with, right? That's the second thing. The first thing, like I said, is you being comfortable summarizing your experience, the technologies and everything you've been able to use. And then the second thing is you actually telling the recruiter or the interviewer the skills which you are comfortable with. Why do I say so? You don't want to get into an interview, maybe you have experience in Kubernetes or you don't have experience in Kubernetes, and you say, tell me about yourself. You've used Kubernetes for this and that. And when the interviewer now asks you maybe what's kubectl or what's a master node or a slave node, or so the interviewer starts asking you questions about Kubernetes which you cannot answer. That gets you into trouble. Or if you say that you've used Terraform and the interviewer is asking what's a Terraform state file, or what are Terraform variables, or what are Terraform outputs, which you do not know anything about, it's going to lead you into trouble and you might not get the interview, you might not get the job. When you're given the opportunity to talk about yourself, make sure that you speak just about the skills which you are comfortable with, or the skills which if you are being asked more questions about, you will be able to answer. Those are the two main things which you must have at the back of your mind. And the third thing is be confident and just relax. Yeah, be confident and relax. You don't want to frighten the interviewer, or you don't want to appear like too excited or too much anxiety, but relax. Tell the interviewer what you know in the slightest and most convenient way, and present yourself like you're on your first date with someone, right? You want to feel free and you want to express yourself with so much liberty. Now, this is just a very basic tip on how you can get yourself a good introduction. I'll just give you a very simple example. Now, assuming that I'm interviewing for a DevOps role, this is how my tell me about yourself will look like. Hello, My name is Mike, and I'm a DevOps and Solutions Architect. I've been using the AWS Cloud for my experience or for my past experience. As a DevOps engineer, I've been able to solve problems around security. I've built high available networks and I've built secure networks for clients. Now, in my past experience, I've used AWS Cloud to meet the needs of several companies, to meet the needs of several contractors, and to meet the needs of several employers. Now, as a DevOps engineer, I've been able to leverage Python as a programming language to automate several services which were deployed in our past environment. I have an experience using different server technologies, notably Nginx and Apache Server for the deployment of applications. And for management of databases, I've used MySQL for Amazon MySQL for sequential databases, and I've used Amazon DynamoDB for non-sequential databases. And now continuous integration and continuous deployment is a very important aspect of every DevOps process, and I have used Jenkins in collaboration with other source code management tools like GitHub and Git for construction and deployment of a continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline. I've equally leveraged AWS DevOps tools like Code Commit, Code Build, Code Pipeline, Code Deploy, and AWS ECS, Elastic Container Service, and Elastic Container Registry to deploy applications as a DevOps engineer. Now, infrastructure as code is a very important aspect for every DevOps process, and I've used Ansible for configuration management of servers. I have used Docker to containerize our applications, our Java-based applications. I've used Docker to containerize applications, and in my past experience, I had the opportunity to actually configure a monolithic application into a microservice application using Docker containers. And after creating those Docker containers, I've used Kubernetes as an orchestration tool to orchestrate the creation and deletion of these containers. And summarily, I've used Prometheus and Grafana to monitor the life of some of my Kubernetes pods and to monitor the life of some of my EC2 instances. And I've used Grafana as a Grafana dashboard to monitor the health of my resources. Lastly, I've used Splunk and ELK as a logging technology to log all the logs of my entire environment in a seamless way. So that's very brief of the experience which I have, and I guess with that I can be of added value to your team and to your company. So that is a very brief introduction about me, giving the recruiter an idea of the skill set which I've used, the technologies, and giving the recruiter the opportunity to know more about me. So you want to make sure that you cover all these services, or make sure that you're able to tell the recruiter the key services which they are looking for. Remember, every recruiter, when recruiting you must have an idea of a programming language. You must have an idea on database management. You must have an idea on continuous integration and continuous deployment. You must have an idea of a particular cloud technology, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Service. You must have an idea about a particular infrastructure as code technology, you knowing configuration management maybe with Ansible or Puppet, or you knowing containerization with Docker, or you knowing container orchestration with Kubernetes. And of course, you should be able to monitor your environment. That's why you want to use Grafana and Prometheus for monitoring, and you might want to lock this for future use using Splunk or ELK or Datadog. So this is the very basic way which you can use to give your recruiter the opportunity to know more about you. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope you can put these tips together for your next interview to nail your job. Remember, we have all kind of content. We are producing content to help you be a successful DevOps or a successful cloud engineer. Once again, if you are a returning subscriber, do well to like the video, do well to comment, do well to share this video, and if you are a new person coming across our content, do well to subscribe to our channel, because in this channel it is our mission to get you into your DevOps profession and to get you into a successful profession as a DevOps engineer. Once again, I've been Mike. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in our next video.